important is that you understand the logic, right? So how it works, and probably there will be other tool, available, or new tool that is free. So yeah, so in the end, it's your choice, and also it's a kind of a transferable skill that you need to know. So the tool I introduced here, the first one is Elicit, and the second one is Consensus, Connected Paper, and the last one is Keenious. Okay, and they are suitable for different purposes. So I choose them because they offer freemium. So that means if you don't pay for it, you can still use it. Okay, that's a very important criteria, because sometimes we don't really want to pay for it, because if you pay for every tool, it's really expensive, right? So Elicit, let's first try it, how it works, and in what kind of scenario we can use it. So you can log on with your Google account. Okay, and you will see an interface like this. I already personally use it quite often to check some of the literature. So for example, I want to ask them, show me, or you can say, what is the impact of dehumanization on human behavior? Okay, something like that. And then you ask this question, and there is a research agent going to trying to collect information for you online. So this kind of platform, they have like, I don't know how how it works, but they have some data source from published papers. And also, of course, for open source data, they have it. Okay, load the workplace. Uh-oh, it's not working, but let's try again using another function. So you can also ask a question regarding to your own research interest. So instead of research agent, let's try to use a report function. Okay, and they will evaluate the strengths of your research question. So yeah, it is a good research question, so we can continue. And then we use FAST. So for FAST, it's always free. So that's why it's quite nice if you want to, get a first understanding of what is currently there for this research. You can also just create your own account. Yeah, it's just easier to log on with your Google account. And now it search, from different source. We don't know where it get the paper, but it managed to get the paper. And then it will give you a report. Okay. Meanwhile, let's go to the second tool, which is called Connected Paper. Okay, so Connected Paper help you to show relevant paper regarding to the paper you want. For example, like I do some study about grotesque advertising, grotesque advertising. Okay, I want to know, okay, because there's only 3 papers related to grotesque advertising. So I want to know, okay, how these 3 papers are connected to other papers. So then I can search, okay, build a graph. So in fact, this is the one I mentioned. This is emotional cues effect on grotesque advertising. And there's another by International Journal of Advertising. Yeah, grotesque imagery enhance persuasiveness of luxury brand advertising. So this is the key literature, right? The key paper. I'm sure that for your paper manuscript, you always have a key paper. Then let's see how this paper is connected to other paper. Then you see a map like this. Okay, this is the key paper. Then the one that is closest is this one. Okay, and then the bigger means that you can actually check the note here. The bigger means that the more citation they have. The closer, that means they are more related. Okay, you can see there is some footnote here. Okay, each note is an academic paper related to the original paper. Paper are arranged according to their similarity. Okay. Note size is the number of citation. And note color is the publishing year. Similar paper have strong connecting line and cluster together. Okay. So that's how you know, get a overview of it. No, it's just to give you our overview, you know, to sometimes you miss a literature, sometimes you want to see, okay, what are some relevant paper, you know, there, you know, is if you are something new to a new topic, then this is really helpful for not throw up some new paper, but you see the connection of, okay, these two papers are really closely linked, okay, and maybe they have share certain pattern together, okay. No, it's also behind the paywall. It's behind the paywall as well. They also have papers that are behind the paywall. So not only those open source, no open access paper. For example, this one, they are not open access, so it's also there. But I must admit it's not completed. So they miss some paper also. So you cannot just rely solely on this one to, you know, to give you the overview. But like 80%, 70% is already good enough, you know. Okay, so it gives us some overview of it. Connected papers. So you can Google connected papers.
Find a paper maybe. If you want to find other papers that are kind of connected to the paper in terms of the idea.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, before I do this study, you know, we always need to find a gap, right? In our literature review, we want to find a gap. Okay, we identify, okay, this cluster, they're all doing this cluster, they're all doing this, but there is a gap here, they don't do this. So it's a good way to help you to organize your thought as well. It may not be super directly helpful for the final presentation of your paper, right? Because you are not going to take a screenshot of this and present it there, but it's just for you to organize your thoughts. Okay, and it's for free, so I think that's quite nice. And let's go back to Elicit. Okay, it's already populating criteria, so you can see it's actually doing a lot of things here. Okay. So you can see the procedure here: status, gather sources, screen sources, extract data, generate report. Okay, and you can see the whole procedure there. So for example, the humanization type, behavior outcome, impact direction, causal mechanism, moderating conditions, study population, research design, etc. So that's quite good, right? To give you an overview of something. Okay, it's not yet finished, so the report is not yet done, but we can wait a bit. And then I will show you the next tool, which is, consensus is very similar to Elicit, so I'm not going to do it. But Keenious is like, okay, this is a little bit like a trick that used a lot by students. Sometimes you write an argument and you need to find support for the argument, right? Then you can just use this tool, you know, you give the argument you want the support, and then you find the citation to support your argument. So that's how you use it. And it's integrated to Word. So you can integrate it in your Word, and then you select that line of sentence, then it propose relevant citation reference to support the argument. But the accuracy rate is not that high. Okay, I always double check, so I don't just blindly rely on it. I go back to the original paper, I check, oh no, they're not really talking about the same thing. So be careful when you use it. The performance is still not yet very, very well. Okay. But for Elicit and connected paper, I think they are quite helpful for me. So I use it quite often for these two tools, but consensus and Keenious less often for me.
Hi, Shubin. Is
Yes.
Elicit free? Elicit.
It has a freemium, good thing is not always for free, okay? So if you want to use it at advanced version, for example, the one that we have, they only can get 50 relevant sources. But if you want to have better, like 100 sources, you want to have more quality result, then you pay for it, right? So you
Right.
can have, but you can use it for free for the basic function. That's why we
Thank you.
include it here, because you have the opportunity to use it. And again, I don't receive any commission fee from all those tools. This is just based on my own experience. Okay, see here, it's already the report here. It gives you, okay, the humanization has distinct and context-dependent impact on human behavior. This, and have, you can also find, this is the original paper. This is the sentence they mentioned in the original paper, okay? The paper is called Dehumanization Increase Instrumental Violence, but not moral violence. And you can go back to the table, check the table, etc. Okay, so it's really helpful when you want to, before you write your paper, it's really nice that you can have an overview, but for PhD students, we have been suffering, reading all those papers, building the table ourselves. This will be a kind of a shortcut, right? So I don't know, should we allow them to use it, or they still need to follow the old way to do it? For us, I think it's really nice to facilitate the whole process. Especially if you are new to a new domain, this can be really, really helpful. Okay, if no question, then I will. It's just some tool, this tool, maybe tomorrow they will be different, and it's yeah. So anyway, so this is the tool that for getting those paper. So okay, you know which paper you need to download, you need to read, and which paper is really strongly connected to your paper. So it's to gather the paper. And now how to organize those paper. Okay, once you download all of them, how are you going to organize them? So then I will propose NotebookLM. Okay, so NotebookLM is a free tool from Google. So let's go to NotebookLM. And if you can only use one tool, this is the tool that I really strongly recommend you to use. Everybody need to use it because it's really, really helpful for you to organize, thought, for you to, because our brain is kind of weak, sometimes we cannot remember things, and this is really good for us to organize knowledge. We upload the knowledge there, we ask it to, come up with a story, create a kind of a map for us to better understand the connection between different concepts, create slides, create audio. I used to have a startup idea, so I want to read paper when I was in a car, right? But then if you have been practicing it, you know that it is really, really not comfortable when you read a paper in a car, right? Or in a public transport, you get dizzy. So I was thinking, can I just upload a paper and convert it to audio, a podcast? And then, that can be really, really powerful, right? So I built my my prototype, and it works well. And then just a couple of days later, they launched this NotebookLM. So they stole my idea. Okay, so you can check here. So are you on NotebookLM now? Okay, this tool, all the other tool, you can forget it, okay? But this tool, you need to know it. That's the key tool that we are going to use. Okay, so you create a new notebook. So you see, I already have so many notebooks because I'm really a happy user of it. Okay, I have like new JCB revision, a lot of different things, the paper, IJEC paper revision, GenAI policy for higher education, etc. So you can create a new notebook, okay, and then you can upload all those PDF you found. Okay, again, if you don't share this notebook to other people, I think it's fine. You use it for yourself, So I don't think you just for your own use. But if you share it, then I think it's problematic because you are kind of, okay, you download the PDF and you share it to other people, right? So I think it's much more problematic. Okay, but if just for your own use, I think it's okay. There is no really law about it, so or regulation about this. So at this moment, it's like gray zone. But it's open access paper, then it's definitely fine. Okay, open access book, open access paper is definitely fine. But it's behind the paywall, then you need to only use for your own purpose. Okay, so you can add sources. This can be the PDF you downloaded. It can be a YouTube video. It can be an audio. It can be some, Word document. So anything you have, you can upload it there. And then it create it again, tokenize, vectorize, and then it become a knowledge base for you. So you can always retrieve information from there. Okay. So I will not do it from the beginning, but I will just show you the things that we have. For example, it's not just for research purpose. For education purpose, I'm now coordinating a course called marketing management. So I upload all the slide there. So if I know, okay, if I want to have a question or if I want to create some of the, quiz for the student, then I can just do it here. So I can ask it to go through in maybe this section and then create some quiz. Okay, I can show you, okay, one example. So maybe the student asks, okay, what is the evaluation? So you can just, what is the evaluation of this course? Then it's going to find the relevant information about the evaluation, maybe at the first slide, and then try to synthesize the answer for you. And I also upload audio, a lot, some course audio. So in this case, you really have so it's very multi-modality support. See, attendance, group project, final exam. So it's really, really nice. So give you the result immediately. And you can also generate a mind map. This is my favorite. So you can have a mind map. And this map helps you to understand the element of different criteria, of different components. So for example, this is the map. Okay, so marketing management, this is the course. What does this course include? It includes STP, the most classical marketing concept, right? Foundation strategy, environment, market research, identify consumer need, data collection, and research quality. And then if you go to STP, then you see another page here. Then, okay, segmentation, targeting, positioning. So you go again to the segmentation, then you go to requirement for good segmentation, etc. So it helps you, to get an understanding of what is going on in this content, an overview. So really, really good to sort out, to help us to organize our thought. Okay. And you can also create a podcast. So this is the podcast I created. So you can play here.
From calculating customer lifetime value.
Right, CLV.
All the way to leveraging AI for advanced modeling. The goal is to give you a comprehensive strategic toolkit.
So you understand not just the concepts, but crucially how to actually apply them.
Exactly. It's really the playbook for moving marketing out of the realm of,
and you can also
let's say, guesswork and gut feeling.
It is very interactive.
And into
so you can
rigorous data-driven.
So when you play the podcast, you can also, it's like a live streaming. Okay, you can also join.
Welcome to the deep dive. You've handed us, well, basically the ultimate roadmap for modern marketing. It's the curriculum for a pretty, hey, welcome. What's up?
I want to ask you, what is the, the final evaluation of this course? It takes some time.
Oh, what a great question. We love it when you jump in to keep us on our toes.
It really shows you're thinking about the how as much as the what. which is what this course is all about.
Okay, let's unpack the evaluation because it's actually a huge part of the learning experience here.
What's fascinating is that the grading is as integrated as the marketing strategy itself.
Exactly. You aren't just sitting through lectures. You're constantly being evaluated through what they call elevator pitches.
There are 9 of them throughout the term, integrated right into the sessions to keep you active.
It's a way to fight procrastination and show the current standing of your crew project.
Then you have the group work where
See,
30% of
very
that grade.
it's exactly what we cover in the slide. So you can interact them when you play the podcast, you can interact them and then, discuss things with them. And you see here, what is this thing? Again, do you remember? This is reinforcement learning through human feedback. We keep a good discussion or bad discussion, okay? So that is actually, again, what we cover in this course, right? Okay, and apart from that, you also have other, like, it's a studio, so you can create slide, you can create a quiz, infographic, data table, flashcard. So it's also nice for your kids or for you if you want to learn a new object. Is a subject is also nice for you to to practice with flashcards or quiz, etc. So it's super powerful, very nice. If one tool you need to know is this NotebookLM. Okay. Okay. So I think so much for. Okay, this is an integrated literature review workflow. So again, for Discover, you can use Elicit, consensus. For mapping, you can use connected paper. And then find while writing, use Keenious. And for synthesize, you use NotebookLM, SciSpace, etc. So that's throughout the whole workflow, which one you need to use. Again, remember somebody asking about the loop engineering, right? This is again a loop engineering from the beginning to the end, the first stage, second stage, first stage, which kind of tool we need to use. So it's a little bit loop engineering. So you create a loop. Okay, but the danger here, they are the finder, they're not the interpreter. You are still the one who need to, if you rely on them to write your literature review, then you are not use it in a responsible way. Okay, you are still need to you can ask them to propose several ideas of the literature review, read them one by one, evaluate yourself, find out the best story yourself. Okay, so that's the human value still there. Because in the end, if somebody asks, oh, I saw your paper, you talk about that, that story, connected this paper and that, you say, oh, I don't know that, then you have problem, right? Okay. So use them well, limits, responsible use, black box ranking, right? You don't know what paper they rank the first, right? So if you rely the AI to search paper for you, you don't know which criteria they use to search the paper for you. So it's black box. It's like Google Scholar is the same. It's black box, right? So that's why you can fully see why a paper is surfaced. The coverage, they are more prefer open access paper over those paper behind the paywall. That's of course definitely because for open access paper, they can retrieve directly. So that's why we know some of the publisher, especially those open access like MDPI, they don't give very good quality papers, right? So you need to be careful as well that if your literature review contain 80% of all the open access paper, then you need to be careful. Also, language bias, they are mostly search for English paper. Hallucinated citation persist, even already much better, they can still just invent a reference for you. Okay. At the finders, you cannot replace it for reading. You can always need to go back to the original source to read it, to really make sure that they mention about that topic. Okay. Now, since we're going to have a long break of 1 hour, and you will also have the chance to do the exercise yourself. Okay, so you pick a paper you know very well, the key paper for your domain, put it in the connected paper, check, okay, what is the most relevant paper of the paper you selected, and build a NotebookLM and drop 3 to 5 PDF. better open access, okay? Because we are now it's a public discussion. So try to find those 3 to 5 PDF that are open access, upload it to NotebookLM, create some audio overview, and ask it to synthesize, a summary, and try to check the summary whether it's true, whether it's really, really trustworthy or not. Okay, so that is the exercise. And in the end, you need to upload an infographic. So if you go to our learning portal, so you can submit your assignment. So your assignment is that you build a NotebookLM notebook, job 3 to 5 PDF, ask for key debate and an audio overview. Submit the infographic here. Okay, so that's the exercise you can do. And that's it for our morning section. And let's see each other at 2 o'clock, and you have the the freedom to do the exercise during the free time. Okay.
Thank you very much. Online participants, please come back at our time. Thank you. Thank you, Shubin. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.